Happy day. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, sporting a queen crown and my hot rollers. How cool is that? Today, I'm a little stoked. I'm a little happy. I'm a little excited. I'm a little pumped up. I'm a little happy. I like to be happy every day, but some days, you're more happy than others. The last couple of days, I've had a massive headache. Not sure why. Sometimes I just get headaches. But usually, it's because I need to be doing something in my life, or I need to be doing something different in my life, or I just need a cup of coffee the size of my head, because I've been drinking coffee again this year. I found out last year, about a year ago, that coffee is actually good for me and good for my blood type. I'd given it up for about 5 years after I had the challenge with my sudden cardiac arrest, and I was told coffee was bad for you and your heart, so I quit drinking coffee. Because that's one of those things. Out in the universe, there is so much misinformation that it's hard to know what's really right for us. What is right? What is good information? What is bad information? And we have to sift through and sort through and figure out what is right. Now, information is just information. And good or bad, right or wrong, it's different for each of us. If something might be totally bad for me, but good for most people. Something might be good for me, but bad for most people. Most people might think, getting on a Facebook Live video and talking with hot rollers in your hair is bad. And you know what? Then please don't watch me. Please go away. But that's part of what I'm doing today and part of what I'm excited about. I'm creating a scavenger hunt and training on the front end of my Supersize Your Business Facebook group. And I'm having a blast with it. And part of what I'm doing is having a drink of coffee so I can put the heavy cup of coffee down and show you what I'm doing. I'm mapping out the strategy for this. Now, I'm going to show you my process because it's messy but effective. So the first thing I do is I get an idea and I start to write it down. And I don't write it down in a little way. I write it down in big notebooks. Now, this isn't all about, this is actually my podcasting notebook and, interviews of people I'm doing. And it's my, okay, I got this good idea and I need to pursue it now notebook. And I think I've mentioned that I learned the concept of the indoctrination series from Russell Brunson. But the best example I've seen in a new way of applying it was by Landon Porter in his group, Getting Clients Without Being Salesy. And so I'm modeling that because I can, anyone can, and I am creating a scavenger hunt because I love scavenger hunts. I'm all about scavenger hunts. I like treasure hunts too. He has a treasure hunt at the beginning of his. I like treasure hunts, but I love scavenger hunts. I've been a scavenger hunter my entire life. Ever since I was a little kid, my mom would create scavenger hunts for us and us girls. I'm from a family of all girls. And we would do scavenger hunts. And as we're gamifying an app that I'm working on a team with, we are starting that out and promoting it with a scavenger hunt. And so when I saw this, I thought, oh my gosh, for my group Supersize Your Business, it is a perfect fit for me to create a scavenger hunt. So I started figuring out, okay, well, what do I have to do to create that? I mapped out my process because we all have our own process of things that we teach people. And so I mapped out the process of what do I want to do in my scavenger hunt. And of course, like everything I do, it was way too freaking long. It was way too in-depth. It was way too detailed. So I took all of those notes, and I've been working on this for, probably a week or two, mapping out and planning out the strategy of what I want to do and how I want to do it, the messages I want to convey, which is the reason I have hot rollers in my hair, because I'm doing an indoctrination video today about, listen, this is who I really am, and if you can't relate to me, please go away. Please don't join my group. Please don't come in this group if you want to be judgmental and egotistical and arrogant and kind of a D-bag or a hose bag. Please don't join my group because I don't want to deal with you. I've learned over the years that there's nothing worse than dealing with haters, dealing with people that just don't get you, dealing with people that just want to judge you and criticize you. Guess what? The cool thing about having our own businesses, we don't have to deal with those people anymore. We can choose and pick who we want to work with. So the next thing I did is I said, okay, we need to narrow this down to a really clear, concise process. So this is my clear, concise process that I will take people through. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4. I narrowed it down to 5 main steps. it was actually like about 10 or 15 or at least a dozen, but I think you can always combine some of those steps to make it simpler for people. And I don't need to teach everybody everything on that. I just want to give them an overview, but I also want to give them some value in the form of a training by going through the scavenger hunt. Because I don't want it to be just about me orienting them to what the group's about. I want it to be something that I want to do that. That's my main objective, is to actually filter out the people that should not be in the group and to indoctrinate and bring in and encourage the people that should be in the group. That's my primary objective. But my other objective is to always give value. Actually, giving value is my primary objective. I like to give away everything and teach people everything I know, because it's not any good if I keep it. One of the things my dad taught me is hugs aren't any good if you keep them. And I have the same philosophy about the things I learned, the knowledge I have, the experiences I've had. They're not any good to anybody else if I don't share them and teach them to someone else. My kids, the poor things, they have been inundated with everything I've learned throughout my long life, ever since they've been born. So for 27 and 24 years, and now my son-in-law 25 years, they get a plethora of all kinds of information, whether they want it or they don't. If I get excited about something, I cannot keep it to myself. I have to share it. So they get to learn all the things that I learn. And I hope that some of it rubs off someday. I mean, a lot of the things that I've learned and a lot of the weird experiences I've had over my career have been something that I sure hope they learn from, because I don't want them to have to experience it as well. So then my process is to narrow it down, summarize it, and put it on a note card. And now today, I will begin in my hot rollers making the videos that go along with this series, that go along with this training, to put on the front end of my Facebook group. Now, what's the cool thing, the thing that gets me really excited about doing this? Not only am I doing this for this group and for this process, but I'm also creating content and products and videos and documents and downloadable giveaway things that people can use. But I can also use those things, those pieces of content, in other ways and in other areas and in other formats for other products, other services, other things that I use to bring people into my world. Because everyone that wants to be should be in the pajama grandma world, but only if they want to be. So that is part of my strategy. I just start writing everything down and doing a brain dump and writing down notes, looking around, studying other people, seeing what they do, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work. And by what works, I mean what resonates with me. Since I'm creating my own group and my own businesses, I am creating what I can relate to. I am creating what resonates and feels good to me. And that's the type of people I want to attract. I want to attract the people that can relate to me and want to work with me and resonate with me. And I want to eliminate, not push away, but kind of push away, with my personality and who I am, the people that can't relate to me. That's paramount to our happiness in business and in life. Many of us have learned the lesson of selecting the wrong spouse, the wrong life partner. And I would say over the last 5 or 6 years, beating myself up over making the wrong choice, because at the time I thought it was the right choice. I thought it was what I should do. I thought he was who I should spend my life with. And we do the same thing with businesses, business partners, all kinds of relationships, everything, because all of it happens to us to show us something. But I probably spent more time beating myself up over that choice and because I made the wrong choice, I think, and because I judged that I made the wrong choice, and then any other experience or any other thing in my life. I mean, a lot of business things and a lot of decisions I've made over the years have been the wrong choice for me, because I wasn't listening to myself and I wasn't listening to my intuition and I wasn't being true to what I wanted and who I am. And those are the things, and I don't regret them, because boy, have I learned from every mistake and every lesson I've learned. And the really interesting thing is we learn so much more from our mistakes. We don't learn from our successes. We get to revel in our successes and enjoy them, but we don't actually learn and grow as a person, as a human being, from the things we're good at and the things we succeed at. But we do learn from the mistakes we make. We learn from the failures that we have, and we all have them. I don't know of anyone, anyone in this life that has been born, achieved any great things, and hasn't had a whole lot of failures along the way. And always when we're going back and we're looking at our past and at our careers, we see that we've had many more failures than successes. And it's from those failures that we've seen and found the turning points in our life, the things that have really caused us to change and grow and be who we are right now. And guess what? None of us are done yet. We're going to continue to grow and have challenges and learn from those experiences and have obstacles, and bad things happen all around us and to us, hopefully not through us, but it's going to happen. And those are the things that are going to catapult us to what it is that we want. So that is my process for doing that, and I'm excited about that because I'm actually done with the plan. I'm not done because you're always planning and continuously improving, but I'm done with the major planning of this, and I'm starting to roll out and do the implementation of it. I've already done one video, and I'll do another video in my curlers today without a crown, although I might do one with a crown too because I like the sparkly effect in the background of the crown. You got the birds chirping and the sparkling in the sky, and it's actually pretty beautiful here, but it's not dazzlingly sparkly like it is with this particular mask. And sometimes it's fun to wear a mask. We all wear masks. Even though we don't like to admit it, we all wear masks. The other thing I did this morning is I pulled out a notebook from about a year ago, a year and a month ago when I went to Boise, Idaho for my certification. And it is a story. It was the beginning of my stories inventory. See, you guys, I do the stuff I talk about. I fill notebooks like nobody else that I know. I'm sure there's other people that do it too. We always like to think that we're the only one that does certain things, but then we find out that like it's a whole thing. And now with the internet, you can find out that it's a whole thing and that there's actually thousands or millions of people that actually think and feel the same way that you do about absolutely everything. No matter how weird and how strange and how bizarre you might think it is, or your family might tell you it is, even though it's not, you can find thousands or millions of people that have and do the exact same thing. Now, I haven't looked, but for example, I used to collect teddy bears. I haven't for several years because I got too many, and they just became, it got to be too much and too many and too cumbersome. And I'm like, unless I'm going to fill a whole room in my house with teddy bears, what am I saving these for? And so I actually gave them to charity so that other people could enjoy them and could have them and could love the teddy bears. Because, of course, I only ever bought cute teddy bears. No ugly teddy bears, no scary teddy bears, just cute, cuddly, adorable teddy bears. And I will admit, I may have kept some of them. I did keep some of my very favorites. Usually there's one sitting around me, but there's a couple in my office. But I kept some of my favorites. I kept Lonnie, my sudden cardiac arrest bear, because he's got massive sentimental value, and a couple other bears that have meant a lot to me. I've just kept them. I don't know if I have the one that started it all, was my college teddy bear, Tommy. I'll have to tell you that story someday. It's a great story. And it's probably part of why I loved and collected teddy bears for so many years. But I'd be willing to wager that if I went online today and Googled it because I cared about it, which I don't anymore, I could find a teddy bear collecting group or a teddy bear collecting Facebook page or a whole slew of people that love collecting teddy bears. So you can do the same thing. And that was a total tangent. Oh, because I was talking about my stories inventory and that I actually do the things I talk about. So whatever you're interested in, guess what? You can create a life around it. You can create a life you love around it. And so that's what I'm working on and doing today. I challenged myself to do an offer a day. And yesterday's offer was, I've been working with some coaching clients, and it's come up 4 times this week, but 2 times, 2 days in a row, huge, about they need leads, they need customers. They're in a really desperate, dire spot in their business right now. And of course, that always stems for all of us, and nobody wants to hear it, but it stems from we're focusing on the lack and what's not working in our life instead of focusing on what we want. And it's a really hard shift. And it doesn't have to be, but we human beings make it a very hard shift to be abundant mentality focused. And part of that, it's totally not our fault, because everything around us, especially in the internet marketing world, we actually create and manufacture. And thank you, salespeople and marketers and mankind. Mankind has made up. We've made it up. We've made up scarcity so that we can get people to do what we want. And oh, that sounds bad because it makes scarcity sound like a manipulative thing. But guess what? It is. It's a totally man-made manipulation to get people to do what we want, or for other people to get people to do what they want. And we're so inundated with it and so surrounded by it and literally barraged like a war with scarcity messages. It is most human beings' natural go-to thought process and mindset and belief system. I have spent decades working on not having a scarcity mentality, and I still catch myself doing it. So it was interesting that two people, one the night before, I spent like 2 hours coaching on this, and not on the scarcity mindset, but on, okay, so this is what we're going to do to get you out of this right now. And then the next morning I got a Voxer on the exact same topic, and I was coaching that person to do the exact same thing, and I thought, okay, if I've coached two people to do this thing, guess what? I need to prove to them that this works and that I'm going to do it too. So I just picked one of my areas that I'm not doing much with, and I created what I told them to do, a 2-page funnel or sales process to get leads, to attract leads to their business, to the one thing that they can do right now to create money and income for their life, and to posit by giving and impacting the most people. And like all of us people, we try to overcomplicate everything. And that was why I was trying to demonstrate, no, you don't have to overcomplicate this. You don't need to you don't have to learn for 2 years and do all these things and create all these complicated things. You just need a simple way of getting people to come to you, getting your ideal people to come to you. So we talked through, okay, who can you help right now? Who can, and maybe they're not your long-term ideal client, but if we can get that into it, great. But who can you attract right now that can help you with this? And who can you help, not that can help you with this, but who can you help right now in the fastest, easiest, most effective way to make a difference in their life so that they want to work with you and they will be attracted to you? And then once we decide that, what is the simple, and you can do it with 1 page, but I was coaching them on doing a 2-page online sales funnel. And all that is a very simple, very basic, first page is your opt-in, and the second page is your thank you page. And you can offer your freebie and, or provide your freebie and then provide a chance to work with you as an application on the second page, because that's what they want. They both want clients. One has an agency and does services, and the other one is a coach. And I'm like, okay, you both want clients, you both need leads. What you're trying to do is go out and coach people on how you can get them more clients and they can be more effective in their area. Well, you have to do that for yourself first. You have to prove to yourself that you can do it for yourself before you can teach someone else how to do it, or it's not believable. So I thought, I'm going to pick another topic that I can help people with, and I'm going to throw up a 2-page lead magnet and see how it does and show them that it can be done. So my offer yesterday was actually my very simple, very ugly 2-page funnel demonstrating how this works. Now, I didn't check my numbers. I think I had like 7 or 8 opt-ins. I didn't go last night because it was late and see if anyone actually filled out the application, because my opt-in was for a free blueprint, and then they, on the thank you page, could join my Facebook page. They could join my Facebook group. Now, this was below after they already downloaded their free blueprint. Or they could apply for a coaching program, or they could apply for this Expert Secrets group that I'm doing, the masterminding coaching that I'm doing for that. So all of the offers in that were free, right? Because there's power in making a free offer to people. You're going to give to them value first and attract them to you. So I know one of them had started, and I did a critique on what he'd done, because instead of doing a 2-page, and we had agreed he could do a 3-page because he was going to put a survey on the front of his, but he did like a 6-page funnel. And part of what he's trying to do is show the people that come into his funnel that he can teach them and they can do the exact same thing to attract their ideal customers into their business. And so again, it's all this keep it simple. We have to keep it simple and streamline things, especially when we're trying to do something to demonstrate to the person that we're attracting that they can do it too. We're doing that at a subconscious level a lot of the time, but if we subconsciously raise flags in them, they won't be attracted to us. So I actually, as my offer, did what I was coaching people to do in a different way so that they could see that it is possible and that it's easy. Now, I didn't run any ads to it or anything. I just posted it in my personal Facebook page to see how it would do. So the fact that I had any responses I thought was pretty darn good. And that's what I'm trying to show them, is that we do what we can with what we've got right now, but we have to actually put it out into the world and take some action or nothing happens. So that's what she's working on today, and I hope you're having a terrific day too. If you need any help with anything that I've talked about today, just go ahead and message me below or make a comment below or find me on social media and contact me. You can find me as Sharon Horne-Ellstrom, of course. Some places you can find me as Sharon Horne, and other places you can just find me as Pajama Grandma. Go out, make it an awesome day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.